Welcome to Game Soup, it's a game design podcast where Fridays in a pot and see what's cooking. I'm Chloe Montgomery and I'm joined by Diana Jones, emerging designer.
Kayla Dice, which is increasingly getting, I think, did they announce new people in April or... No, I found out in April when I did it, but I'm like, oh, there'll be another cohort this year. It's time to have emerged. Welcome back! We took a week off, which was a planned week off. We told you about that on the episode.
Yeah.
And
No idea if we did or not, but...
No, I'm pretty sure we did, because I'm pretty sure we said ahead of time when we were planning our record. It was Christmas.
Well, whatever. It's been and gone now.
It's big
We're
2025.
back. It's been holidays.
We're back from...
Yeah, it's the year of Game
the
Soup.
Hollybobs. How... We've talked off mic about how our holidays were. We don't necessarily need to share that.
Yeah. It was fun. I got lots of jumpers. I got one that looks like a deer from Alyssa. So look forward to me wearing that at conventions.
That's cute. My housemate got me a dressing gown because they've been annoyed that ever since we moved into this current place, whenever it's really cold, I just stick on a slightly fluffy, torn to shreds denim jacket. And they've been like, you need a dressing gown. And eventually they had to take mine.
I think you're very blanket core, but then you don't have... Well, no, you do have like 17 blankets on your bed, so... Sure.
Well, I have 2 duvets just because I came into 2 duvets. I went on holiday. I don't need to talk about that much, but this has reminded me that having gone from a hotel to back, I'm like, oh god, I need new pillows. My pillows are so shit.
Yes,
oh,
they are.
Brutal.
Although we've been saying for months that we want new pillows, and then we never have bought them. So...
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions for Game Soup, buy new pillows and make lots of
Yeah, do we want to
games.
talk about any New Year plans, things we're thinking about?
Yeah, I have started writing Skirmish 2, if that's going to be its name, I don't know.
I
feel like Skirmish is the least searchable word for a war
You
game
probably
you
should
could
add
have.
something to it. Skirmish 2 could work, but I think maybe you could just add something to the title that makes it stand out a bit more, and that's the implicit 2.
Well, the original was wallet-friendly wargaming, which could work as a title, but
It's
a bit
also
of a
it
mouthful.
feels I don't know, some people do have those very just descriptive things. I guess that's kind of how GURPS is. I feel like at that point though, if you were just doing the thing, you'd almost want it to acronym well, which WF
yeah,
W is not a good acronym.
W.
You could just add something to Skirmish.
It's like
that's a vaguely
Wafwa.
distinctive word. You could call it I was gonna say Biscuit Skirmish, but then you might. In the way people have the blank hack.
Yeah.
Hmm?
That's the guy's name, isn't it? It's we've talked about this, but every RPG designer seems like they've
And
made
some
up
of us
their own
have.
name. Yeah. Anyway. And I'm thinking... Well, I mean, obviously we want to finish Extra Time this year. We had asked a very lovely layouter to do the layouting, but then they
I
ghosted
don't describe
because
myself as having
holidays.
ghosted. I'd say I gave you an accurate estimate of where I was at the last time we had a conversation about it. Yeah, that could get done. It is on my list. It's absolutely on my to-do list. I need to do my tax return this month. That's not overly personal if you're a self-employed person in the UK
Oh, yeah.
and haven't done it yet. And I also am going to have to be doing TDL2 layout soon. Plausibly, after this recording, I'm going to give it a start. So then in between that, it will come up because, yeah. What else other than Extra Time?
I don't know. We kind of go shoot from the hip. We were planning to do a Goblin Country rejig, but now we have a bunch of copies of it in our garage because we got them late for Dragonry. So we'll see how that goes.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. How about you, honey?
Letter last month was also my delayed return to dropped it in the middle of the TDL2 campaign. It was a very sort of personal thing. I recapped everything I did in the year and then was way too much. An obscene amount of things to do. It would be impressive if a team of people who were all able-bodied did this. But in a way, I'm this was impressive. It's not sustainable. So I'm in some senses trying to do less. I'm trying to slow down a bit. I think I was trying to see if I could like turn myself into a business and make that sustain me. And I'm like, that's not possible. At a base level, I'm not in a business, I'm an artist, and I need to figure out how to live with that. So this is all promising, but something I'm doing this year is I'm going to try and just like take more time with stuff. I might still throw out like smaller, faster things, but the faster things I think are going to be fun experiments, like when I made Out of the Folds, like I want to make like the sound recording of a heart overflowing game. And then like I think with the bigger projects, I just want to make more time. I do not have a currently planned next Kickstarter or whatever. We'll probably do one, don't know if it will be this year, but at some point. The big game I'm working on is the Noir game I've talked about, which I've done some more writing for. I'm trying to get that to a playtest point, which just... I'm making a rejig of the classes, because I mapped out some scenarios and then realized how, like, the classes as I'd conceived of them already didn't work with what the scenarios were going to be. But I think that focused where I needed the classes to what I needed them to be. So yeah, once I can get that to a playtesting point, I think I'm going to hopefully then like coincide that with like a Patreon launch and also try and open some kind of playtesting server as well as trying to organize some like physical things. But like my big intention here is I want to take a decent length of time on this. Like, did I mention on the podcast that I applied for an Arts Council grant?
I know you were like trying to do it. I don't know if you actually said you had applied for it, but yeah.
Yeah, I did apply for that. Thanks to like an access support scheme, which was really helpful. I had an old stand-up friend help me write the application. Obviously, I won't find out until March where I got that, and obviously there's no guarantee of it, but I think it did give me a lot of stuff to think about in terms of like my career and my practice and how I'm focusing that and spending that. And hopefully the government will turn around and go, yeah, babes, we want to give you 12 grand just to think about Noir. If a game comes out of it, a game comes out of it.
Sounds ideal.
No promises. If I do that, that'll be cool, because that will change a lot of how that project's going to work, because it will mean I have more time to do like fun research, I have more time and money to like organize like better playtesting, and then also some of the money can be part about like how I'll build that out as a book eventually. But I want to like take longer to make a game, and I also want to be a bit more open with it. So like I am definitely going to release a playtest Ashcan version, which I am currently tentatively calling Strangers in the Vast Dark. And yeah, that means like by the time this ever does come to Kickstarter, the Kickstarter won't be here's this brand new game. It will be, hey, here's this game you've probably seen lots of in its finished final form, with scenarios, with other stuff, with whatever the shape of this eventual crowdfunding. But I've engaged in the art more. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm just going to do a bunch of probably silly experiments or stuff. I'm going to finish TDL2, like I said. And I'm going to, I feel I'm being vague because I don't necessarily want to say what my, like, personal plans are on the podcast, because it's the side of things that doesn't relate to like games I'm releasing, just to like how I'm shifting, how I'm spending my time and what I do with that. And I don't always want like there's a level of openness I don't necessarily want there with the audience. I tell you
personally, I encourage parasocial relationships. If you want to believe you're my friend, do so.
I have a great respect for our audience, but I don't need to tell them about like whatever my benefit situation is in depth. So I'm just not going to. If you want to get more hints at it, I'll occasionally just make very bitchy social media posts. But a podcast feels like it's a calmer dissection and just offering myself up in a way. It's weird. I feel I'm both more personal on the podcast than I am in certain social media things. Like we've made jokes on the podcast I wouldn't post out because I'd be like, that's way too revealing. But in terms of like a dissection of my personal finances, that feels like something I'd want to hold back, but I'll make bitchy tweets about.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm broke. If you want to go to my itch.io page, buy some games.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm broke. We're both broke. I live on the poverty line. I've said that in podcasts. Loads of times I get asked on podcasts, like, interview things. I think it got edited out of one podcast, and I was like, that's fine, maybe it reads as bleak. Whereas I was like, how are you making it as a full-time RPG creator? And I think my first answer was like, well, first of all, I live in poverty. So write that down. Which is an accurate answer. There's other things. I'm fine knowing that, but I'm also like, yeah. I am probably not like a full-time anything anymore, because I do not think I'm a person who can work full-time. So I'm going to find however amount I can work, and that work will be art, and I'll figure out a way to live with that. And that's all going to be cool. Did I have any other fun, stupid projects? I came off some stats for the sound recording thing, if I share them.
I think you should leave that for...
when it's more finished.
Yeah. And then we can do a full Dev Dicey Diary or whatever the heck we were calling it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, do we want to go back in time?
Back to reality?
No. We're in reality right now. I said, do we want to go back in time?
How far?
To December 15th. It was the Rift Fair, the Arcanist Tavern.
I see.
And all through the night, a lonely podcaster was on the attack.
Yeah, I can't believe we actually got you to do attack podcasting. I'm so proud of you. You've come so far.
I've occasionally walked with you when you've done attack podcasting, but in general, I'm usually very on. Rift Fair, it was quite relaxed, it was chill, and there was some space in the middle, so I got 3 recordings. What I will say to you, and you can cut this off mic bit, is if you want, or leave it. You probably are going to leave it.
Yeah, I'm not cutting anything, honey.
So we should do the first and the third, because the middle one is 2 people and they both give words.
Oh, fabulous. Right, well, let me find the...
So we're here at Rift Fair now. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Flowers for Roadkill, and I sell t-shirts and things.
Nice. The t-shirts are really cool, I should say. You should check out Flowers for Roadkill online. Could you give me a random word?
Wasteland.
Wasteland. Thank you.
So Wasteland from Flowers for Roadkill. I think when you first sent me this, I did look up their shirts, and they are pretty cool. So, shout out.
Yeah, no. I got some stickers from them as a Christmas present for one of my friends.
Nice.
Now we're going to our third one. Hey, we're back at Rift Fair. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Rev, and I'm the builder for Redbeard Woodworks.
Hi, and could you give me a word to make a game out of?
Yeah, I'm going to go with mahogany.
Ooh, thank you.
So that was Rev from where?
Redbeard Woodworks.
Redbeard Woodworks. Okay.
If you've ever been, I have no idea where our audience is geographically. If you have been around London and you've been to the Arcanist Tavern, as well as like all of their nice tables and stuff were made by Redbeard Woodworks, who were selling there. They were right next to me. So we have Wasteland and Mahogany.
So it's a Hunger Games game.
Oh yeah. In my mind I was like, so mahogany's a nice wood, right?
Yeah.
So I feel this is in some ways about being some kind of wasteland scavenger who is massively into woodwork and is hunting for last preserved bits of woodwork or whatever.
Yeah, you're trying to find the last specimens of each of these great tree types so that you can preserve them, maybe, or...
I guess it's I feel there's a version where it's this is about nature, and it's you're looking for a mahogany tree to try and preserve it. Or there's a version where it is about craft, and it's you're looking for the last sort of specimens that can be found in the areas you live in of craft using this wood that maybe isn't in bloom anymore, because I guess you're preserving craft.
Yeah.
Which one's more interesting to you?
See, my brain gave me the idea of you're breaking into like a biodome, but that just kind of sounds like a dungeon for any sort of Wasteland RPG. Like, this is just an Apocalypse World arc.
Yeah, this is... How could we make this distinct? This is actually a thing. Maybe we should focus more on the Wasteland part and go, how are we making this unique?
I think we are 200 or 300 years after the nuclear bombs have fell, and you have found a mahogany sapling. Are you able to tend this fragile thing in this world that wants to kill you?
So it's a sort of plant growing game.
Yeah, and you have to actually grow a plant in real life, and it's a journaling game.
Jeez. Oh, that sounds cool. I would never play it personally.
I don't think you actually...
I then just had a thought in terms of, like, how do you twist this? What if it is like a... the bombs have fell, and you are mutant rats who have been given intelligence by,
a turtle.
The bombs. In a furniture store that is increasingly, like it is a case that, like, yeah, the bombs fell, humans are dead, animals inherit the earth, but they don't get big.
So it's post-apocalyptic mouse in the house.
Yeah, but I think I like the idea of, like, the furniture store is, like, this kingdom. I maybe also like the idea of, like, in theory it's a dome, like, you are just rats who are like, this is the whole world.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. No, here's a better pitch. Narrowing down, better than my pitch, not better than your pitch, but narrowing down on that. The bombs fell, intelligent rats make a life in the furniture store, and they are of the impression that, like, that is all the world is in the furniture store, until, like, maybe it's intelligent mice, and then, like, a intelligent rat from outside comes into the furniture store. And it's a game about, like, the safety universe is choosing, like, whether you go, like, there is a bigger world out there. Should we do something about that? Should we look at it? It's a bit about, like, vaults, I guess, but, like, without that flavoring, it's more just about, like...
Yeah.
I think it's a coming-of-age game.
And it's like, it's a metaphor for, do you actually want to put work into your community, or do you just want to be isolationist and just sort of, like, on your own?
Yeah, I think it is about an isolated community, and then it's about, like, the outsider in that. And I think the game ends when I think there's, like, a countdown thing. It's like a rat is maybe brought in, or comes in himself and is injured, and is going to be fine in X number of days, and then they are going to leave. And I think maybe the rat is, like, the GM analog. I think maybe there's, like, a lot of collaborative world building from, like, pick list and story prompts, and someone who's facilitating the game will play a character, but the character will specifically be, like, the outsider.
Yeah.
They're going to leave in X number of days. Various sort of scene prompts, maybe even mini games or stuff about the community and how they are interacting with this outsider. The game ends when they leave, and it's a question of, like, has anyone decided to go with
is anyone going to go with them? Are you going to give them something from your community to go take with them, or...
Yeah, I think there's choices like, do they leave peacefully but by themselves? Does someone leave with them, and are they allowed to leave? Or does someone try and leave with them and that causes a conflict in the community? You know, would they not allow this person to leave because of their own... Like, I think there's an element of world building and countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah! I like this.
It's called Between the Cracks. I don't know.
Between the Cracks, or maybe it's got a really long name. Maybe it's something just like a rat came in from the wasteland.
Yeah, it's like a light novel title.
No, I'm thinking, like, I've been thinking a lot about titles and, like, titles that, like, title formats that aren't really touched in RPGs. I think there's a sort of social media trend now where I do think a lot of people, consciously or not, when they think about a title, are like, oh, well, that would cost me a lot of characters on a social media post. Which I get, I understand it, but also I'm like, you know, there are, like, thinking about, like, books or films that have longer titles and stuff. Like, I was there kind of doing almost like an old novel or play title rather than light novel.
Yeah, like the mouse who came in from the bombs or something.
Yeah.
The rat who came in from... I don't know.
I like the idea of it being a rat and then maybe, like, the people in the furniture store are all mice.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea of them being similar kinds of rodents, but different.
Yeah.
Oh, is this going to be a game I write?
For the art of it.
I don't know, sometimes we invent games where I'm like, I love the idea of this game existing, but it's not a me game, but this game does kind of feel like a me game. I don't know if I have anything to say about isolation, though, on a community level.
That's for you to figure out as you write this game, probably. Maybe not.
Rat came in from the wastes. I also do like your mahogany journaling game. Do you think you'll write
No,
that?
absolutely not. Feel free to write that, dear listener, but I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, that's open for the listener. Let's go then to our middle thing. 2 answers. You ready?
Hi, we're back at Rift Fair. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Connor, also known as Bloated Toad.
I'm Delilah, also known as Burn the Books.
Nice. And could you give us a random word for Game C?
Quintessence.
Quintessence. That is exciting.
I'm going to be a bit boring and say banana.
Banana.
I have a banana
Okay.
in my mouth.
Thank you.
So that was Bloated Toad and Burn the Books, was that?
Yeah. I can... Small enough I can find people. Yeah, the words we got there are quintessence and banana. Do you know what the word quintessence means?
It's a thing from Final Fantasy XIII where you do a team-up attack.
Yeah, quintessence is a very versatile word, because I did look at its different meanings. Because obviously people talk about the quintessence of something, or the quintessential version of something, and it means like, oh, it's the core version. If we said, you know, or if like a game of yours was described as like a quintessential belonging outside belonging game, it would be like, oh, you're really getting to the core of it or whatever. There's that. It also was an old word that sometimes people thought was like the fifth element after like wood, air, like air, fire, earth, water. They were like, oh, and quintessence, obviously.
It's Aether.
Yeah, it's like an Aether equivalent at that point. Just like, oh yes, no, it's the extra thing. I believe there was some other sort of fun meanings or whatever.
So...
Yeah, so it's like fifth substance, a refined or extract, or like the perfect example. And then, do you know what a banana is?
I don't enjoy them, but I know what it is. Too mushy.
So you've got... fair. We've got quintessence and banana. Do we want to decide what angle of quintessence we're going on?
I've already forgotten everything you said, so I'm gonna...
We can go over fifth element,
Yeah.
or like the perfect version.
So you are at Tesco. Imagine the scene. You're at Tesco. Other supermarkets are available. And
I've got a good imagination, I can figure this one out.
yeah, you find the perfect banana, the quintessential banana. It is the nana. Like, you think banana, you rotate a banana in your head, it's this banana. And
Yeah?
you decide, yep, I'm going to make my entire life about this banana now. I'm going to make a cult about this banana. Can I make a cult around a banana?
Okay.
It's like...
I can imagine the scene. Where's the game coming in?
Yeah, so you have a series of... So maybe you don't actually make a cult, but it's like a game about how you just become devoted to this banana, and then you have like a series of like prompts, or like a deck of cards that have prompts attached. It's like Horse Girl, but about loving a banana.
Right. So this is, a sort of bleak solo journaling game about becoming obsessed with a random object. And I assume it's a sort of anti-consumerist screed in some ways.
I could see that, yeah. I mean, it's like you have a bunch of stuff. It's like, why aren't you going to work anymore? You're loving a banana? What does that mean? You have to like explain, like one scene, you have to explain to your boss why you're quitting because of bananas. Like, what? Why aren't you?
Yeah.
Why aren't you coming to bed anymore, honey? The banana?
I feel this would... So I feel like instead of you just find the perfect banana straight away, I feel like maybe it's about someone who's become obsessed with finding the perfect banana.
Yeah.
And also, bananas in this world are sold in booster packs. Like, it's always like, they are not clear. You have to tear them open and like, no, none of these are perfect.
So it's actually a game about trying to find a chase rare from Magic the Gathering. You want to get that one of one, the One Ring that Post Malone has.
So what do you call this version of the game? The Obsession game?
I think it's just like banana, and you have like a really weird cover of like a double exposure of a banana over a person's face or something.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's a solid one. This is very almost literary. Like, I think it's adjacent to lyric gamey stuff, I think.
I think this is the metamorphosis of TTRPGs.
It feels like, this feels like interactive fiction, which I'm aware lots of journaling games can sometimes feel like that anyway, but I definitely feel the angle here is very that, like... I don't know if there's so much character creation beyond just everything is you. Like, you are always referred to as you, and there's a vague implication that the you is who you are in real life. I had another vague pitch, but I have no idea what this game would be. A world where there are 5 kinds of bananas.
For God's sake.
Air buyer, air banana, fire banana, water banana, earth banana. That's just like the regular ones.
Yeah.
And, you pick one of these 4 and you are... It's a 4-player game about who are each seeking the 5th element banana.
This is what I imagine Balatro is, but about, like, jokers.
Fascinating, yeah. I think it's a weird game which uses keywords from, like, fucking... books in your house or whatever to empower your banana abilities, and then it's just often about having big fucking public showdowns in the cosmos as you are looking for the star banana.
The Bastana? No, that doesn't work at all. Stanana? We'll workshop it.
Stanana.
Give it up.
Give it up. Thank you for listening to Game Soup.
Baby, give it up, give it up. Baby, give it up. Bit it.